My name is Tina, and this is a true story about something that almost changed my life forever. When I was 8 years old, I left my family. There were many problems at home. Adults made decisions, and I had no choice. I moved far away and grew up with other relatives. As time passed, I stopped seeing my parents and my younger siblings. I didn't even have pictures of them. I slowly forgot their voices. I forgot their faces. I only remembered that I once had a family. Years went by. I went to school, made friends, and tried to live like everything was normal. But deep inside, I always felt like something was missing. I wondered where my family was. I wondered if they ever thought about me. When I became an adult, I moved to a new city for work. I wanted a fresh start. I told myself, this is my new life. One day, I met someone. His name was Daniel. We met at a friend's birthday party. He was kind, funny, and easy to talk to. We both liked the same music. We both loved spicy food. We both hated waking up early. It felt like we understood each other very quickly. We started spending more time together. Coffee became lunch. Lunch became dinner. Soon, we were talking every day. After a year, we were in love. Daniel told me he grew up without much contact with his family too. He said his family had been separated when he was little. I felt connected to him because my childhood was similar. We both knew what it felt like to grow up with questions and no answers. 2 years later, he proposed. It was a small park with yellow flowers everywhere. I was so happy, I cried. I said yes without even thinking. I thought my life was finally coming together. We started planning the wedding. We talked about the future, about having kids, about building a family we never had growing up. I remember thinking, finally, I belong somewhere. But life had a different plan. One evening, we were filling out official forms for our marriage license. The form asked for our parents' full names and places of birth. We sat at the table, laughing, trying to remember details. Then Daniel said his mother's name. I froze. It was the same name as my mother. I told him that was strange. He laughed and said, it's probably just a common name. But then he said his father's name. My heart started beating fast. It was my father's name too. We stared at each other in silence. At first, we tried to explain it away. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe just similar names. But something didn't feel right. The next day, we both started calling relatives we hadn't spoken to in years. I called an aunt I barely knew. My hands were shaking when I asked her about my parents and my siblings. She was quiet for a long time. Then she asked me, why are you asking about your younger brother? Younger brother. I couldn't breathe. She told me my parents had a son 2 years younger than me. When our family broke apart, we were sent to different places. We grew up in different homes, different cities, with no contact at all. That son was Daniel. The man I was about to marry was my own brother? When I told Daniel, he didn't believe it at first. We both cried. We both felt sick. It was like the ground disappeared under our feet. We did DNA testing to be sure. The results came back. We were full siblings. I can't explain the pain of that moment. The person I loved most in the world was family, the kind of family you can never marry. We had done nothing wrong on purpose, but the truth changed everything. We ended the engagement. Not because we stopped caring about each other, but because we had to. We needed to change our relationship from romantic love to family love. That was one of the hardest things I have ever done. For a long time, I felt ashamed. I felt confused. I felt angry that no one had told us about our past. If we had known our family history, this would never have happened. But this story is not just about shock or sadness. It is about identity. It is about how important family history is. It is about how children who are separated from their families need records, truth, and connection. Daniel is still in my life today, not as a partner, but as my brother. We are learning to build a new kind of relationship. We talk about our childhood, share old photos, and try to understand where we came from. We both lost many years, but we found each other again in a different way. If you are watching this, I want you to remember something important. Every person deserves to know their story. Every child deserves to know where they come from. Secrets can grow into painful surprises. I almost married my own brother, not because we were careless, but because we didn't know the truth about our family.